Shavua Tov, everyone. Welcome to Tillers Tell Stories for Saturday night. The title of this week's video is Fulfillment of a Promise and a Dream. I excerpted and supplemented it from an article in the Jerusalem Post by Jonathan Rosenblum. In the summer of 2000, a 127-day doctor strike in Israel finally drew to an end. The number of lives lost in the course of the strike is still to be tallied, and the long-term health consequences will never be known. At Laniado Hospital in Netanya, however, the strike never began. Since its founding by the Klausenberger Sanz Rebbe, Rabbi Yekutiel Halberstam, there has never been a strike by any hospital employee or work stoppage of any kind. Just as soldiers cannot strike in the midst of battle, the Rebbe taught, so too those involved in healing may not strike no matter how legitimate their grievances. Rabbi Yekutiel Yehuda Halberstam, the Klausenberger Rebbe, who also became the post-war Rebbe of the Sanz Hasidim, and he was one of the foremost Hasidic leaders of his generation. He is best known for his revitalization of the study of Talmud through his Mifal Shas program and the building of a hospital in Netanya, Laniado, that functions at the highest standards of Jewish law and medical practice. He passed away on the Shabbat of the same week that the Lubavitch Rebbe departed 6 days earlier. His yahrzeit is the 9th of Tammuz, which is tonight, starts tonight. During the Holocaust, the Klausenberger traversed every level of hell: Auschwitz, ruins of the Warsaw Ghetto, work camps, death marches. In the course of that journey, which claimed his wife and their 11 children, he vowed that if he survived, he would build a monument to chesed, deeds of kindness, that would stand in the starkest possible contrast to the inhumanity of German men of culture and science. Laniado is that monument. It took the Rebbe 15 years to raise the money to build the hospital. His mission was to show the world a Jewish approach to healing, and that the highest medical standards are fully consistent with the highest standards of Jewish law. When the Minister of Health scoffed at the Rebbe's dream and told him that 3 permits had already been issued for new hospitals in the Netanya area, the Rebbe replied that none of them will be built, and he turned out to be right. To the minister's offer to let the Rebbe supervise religious affairs at the government hospitals in the region, the Rebbe countered that he would run his hospital, and he'd let the minister fix the mezuzot. In a speech to the entire staff of the hospital upon its opening, the Rebbe said, "Our Torah is a Torah of loving kindness. Everyone can understand that a rabbi, and indeed every believing Jew, wishes to establish Torah institutions. Everybody should therefore understand why it was a rabbi that established this hospital, which is indeed a magnificent Torah institution." In fact, building a hospital was another aspect of teaching Torah in the Sanz Rebbe's eyes. He also later founded Mifal Shas, under whose auspices thousands are tested on between 20 to 70 folios of Talmud every month, and the successful are rewarded. The Rebbe was careful that nothing should ever detract from his main goal of demonstrating to the world a hospital based on the Torah. A striking example: when a female employee began distributing in the hospital material on the laws of family purity, the Rebbe stopped her immediately. They will say, "I built this hospital to proselytize, to have kosher food, or to pass out pamphlets," he explained. The Rebbe succeeded in creating the unique Torah institution that he had envisioned. The Rabbi of the hospital, Rabbi Chaim Yaakov Schwartz, is involved in every aspect of medical care, not just giving instructions on heating water on Shabbat. He meets frequently with every department head to discuss halakha questions and is a constant presence in the wards. In the nearly quarter century of Laniado's existence, that is, this article itself was written in the year 2000, he did not take a single day of vacation. The average hospital Laniado size has 6 respirators. Laniado is 25, so that no doctor ever has to set priorities in the allocation of respirators. Once a patient was unconscious and believed brain dead on a respirator for 55 days following a near drowning. Today, he is alive and well, thanks to the Laniado policy. Most important is the attitude to healing which the Rebbe imbued the staff. In his opening speech, he pronounced the most vital quality for the staff that each staff person should have is a warm Jewish heart. The protocols of the hospital, drafted by the Rebbe, specified that employees should be full of love for their fellow Jews and every other human being. And I and my family can testify that it really is like that in Laniado. The Rebbe told the staff that their goal must always be to cure the patient, not just cure the disease. And he insisted that concern with the pain was crucial to that task. Asked whether of 2 syringe needles the hospital should purchase, one that was slightly less painful and one that was half the price, he immediately ordered the more expensive needles, despite them being twice the price. Dr. Andre de Vries, the former Director General of Beilinson Hospital in Petah Tikva, later served at Laniado. He described the difference in Laniado. Here, I feel I'm a healer. There is a feeling of being involved in holy work. He told a medical conference, at Laniado, I learned that the patient is a person. A man once made a trip to America to thank the Rebbe for saving his life. He had been in a critical condition in the hospital in Israel for several days, and 2 young nurses did not leave his side during the entire period. They explained their dedication. We are graduates of Laniado Nursing School, and we once heard the Rebbe speak on the merit of saving lives. We felt that with constant attention, we could save you. One Rosh Hashanah, a woman began to hemorrhage badly during childbirth. She needed a massive transfusion of a rare blood type immediately. An order went out that every student in the adjacent yeshiva Sanz yeshiva should immediately rush to the hospital to have their blood type tested. Prayers were stopped in the middle of Musaf of Rosh Hashanah. The woman's sister, herself a nurse, told the staff later, there's no other hospital where she would still be alive today, not in the whole world. The Rebbe told the nursing school students that if they ever heard of a woman contemplating an abortion, they should tell her that the Rebbe would raise the child as his own. One woman, convinced by a nursing school student in this fashion to carry to term a baby who she told would be deformed, delivered a perfectly healthy baby. The Rebbe once explained why there have never been any demonstrations against Shabbos violations or the like in Kiryat Sanz. When you come to a place of darkness, you do not chase out the darkness with a broom. You light a candle. Few have lit so bright a candle as the Klausenberg Sanz Rebbe. Zikron Tzaddik Lebracha. Laniado Hospital is truly a Kiddush Hashem, a sanctification and glorification of God's holy name, bringing the world one step closer to the final redemption. May it be immediate. Shavua Tov. Have an extraordinary week.